Well, this morning I've been enjoying the work of a Danish cartoonist who went by the name of Storm P. His full name was Robert Storm Petersen. Ever heard of this guy? Storm P? You can see that's how he signed his name. You can tell by looking at just this drawing why I dig this guy's stuff. He had the screwball sensibility. Not many of his works have been translated into English and printed in American editions. So for United States cartoon enthusiasts, it's not likely they're going to know about Storm P very much, or very much about Storm P. I procured these and several other books by ordering them from Danish booksellers through the internet and paying a large amount of money for shipping. Actually, this one, though, and a couple of others came from a California bookstore. So there must have been a collector out there who sold it. You can see this is a much loved volume, which is kind of cool. So I'll just flip through these a little bit and tell you just a little bit about this remarkable cartoonist. He was incredibly prolific, had a long career, and this is just a tiny sampling of what can be found in the work of Storm P. This book is this is some of his best and most purest cartooning. It was this roughly translates as the Three Little Men and the Number Man, and this will become clearer when you see the cartoons. This was produced by the Storm P Museum in Copenhagen, and hope someday to get over there. That's a self-portrait. So he drew himself into his cartoons a lot. And he was something of a celebrity himself. He was a comic actor in the theater in Denmark. And he struggled with whether to pursue a career as an actor or a career as a cartoonist. More about that in a minute. This is a photograph from 1914. Looks like June 1914. And he's in some sort of a parade, and that's Storm P right there. And right next to him is the Number Man. And then down here are the Three Little Men. And what's interesting is two of them are Storm P's nephews. And then this is one of their friends. So he, right away, can you think of any other American cartoons that feature three little characters who are sort of all identical to each other? Well, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Walt Disney, right? But before that, we had in the Fleischer Brothers cartoons, Storm P again. This is from a movie he made. In the Fleischer Brothers Popeye cartoons, there's the three nephews. They weren't actually a part of the comic strip as Segar envisioned it. This is an introduction. So the three nephews were Peepeye, Poopeye, and oh gosh, I can't remember. But then before all that, I think, I don't have an exact date, but in the early 20th century, Frederick Opper gave Happy Hooligan three nephews. And I can't remember their names at the moment. I think one of them was called Boitram. So there's an interesting cross-cultural connection, and in fact, Storm P came to America in 1919 and tried to get on as a cartoonist, and instead he, just to survive and make money, he wound up doing theatrical performances, and he came back uh, disillusioned about America, but with a new appreciation for his homeland, and he immediately created an animated cartoon. And guess what it was? It was the Three Little Men. Right here we have the very first Three Little Men cartoon. And so what this is a weekly series which is transforming itself into a new series. The weekly series was called Can You Do It? And it featured an inventor attempting to do something incredible. But look here on the side, on the left side, you can see the Three Little Men are now here participating in it. And this is typical of Storm P as well. You get these incredible, surreal, visuals. It's not quite clear what this guy's trying to do, but he winds up falling into the hole. And here's a picture of Storm P himself, once again drawn in to the strip, holding the Three Little Men. And they're saying to him, "We love the idea, your idea for a new series." And so from this point on, in the weekly newspaper that it appeared in, it became a series. And so let's take a look at some of those real quick. That's the Number Man. Can you see that he's carrying the number 1? Look what he's got now. And here comes the Three Little Men. And here they're speaking, and I don't know what they're saying, but most of these are silent. And now he's lured them over and trapped them by removing the bridge, and he's holding up a number 4. So this is kind of a 2-in-1 comic. You get to see the main action with the Three Little Men, and you get to see the Number Man. Let me find some wordless examples for you. Oh, here's a great one right here. I love this one. Look at this. See the Number Man with the number 1? And now here's the Three Little Men. They're looking at a woman with a checkered skirt. They use their 2x4 board. It turns out it's just a bunch of blocks. How amazing is that? And meanwhile, the Number Man is on a swan-like number 2, avoiding the claws of a crustacean in the water. Now, that is wonderfully surreal. It shows you how inventive and imaginative Storm P is. And there we go. Isn't that cool? This one is guy playing the trombone. Storm P seemed to think playing the trombone was funny. They shows up in his cartoons a lot. He had a flair for drawing these I don't know how you'd say it, machinery and objects that kind of loops around, and you'll see some of that. I'll show you just a couple more here. Three Little Men looking at a giraffe. Where's the Number Man? He's behind the fence. You see the 1 up there? He's carrying a large number 1. And there he is with a 2. He's hanging over the fence. But meanwhile, our guys, they saw a poster of a giraffe, and now they have an idea. So here come a couple of dogs. They're up to some mischief here. What are they doing? Poor doggy. Oh, I see. They made their own giraffe with the 2 dogs. Little dogs. Yeah. I don't know. I feel sorry for the dogs. Oh, here's a nice prank. while this guy reads whatever that poster is. I guess he's a horseman, a jockey. He's got checkered pants too. He switch his horse out. You can see the number man in the background, of course. Always up for a good laugh, this trio. But mainly I've been spending my time this morning with this book. This is is translates as Jokes and Laughter. Robert Storm Petersen, Jokes and Laughter. And it's a volume one of at least a 2-volume series. I don't have the second volume. And as you can see, there's some text here. This essay is The Clown Storm Petersen, and it's I used Google Translate to read it, and it provides biographical detail and tells the story of young Storm P struggling with finding his place in life. And actually, he was, as they put it somewhere in this text so beautifully, at least in translation, polygonally, I can't say the word, talented. So the guy was an actor, a cartoonist, a fine artist. You'll see some of his paintings in here, and an animator. He did animated cartoons, and a writer. And above all of that, or perhaps tying all that together, he was kind of like this philosophical humorist, especially in his later years. In his earlier years, he was like more of a clown, kind of like Charlie Chaplin and folks like that. But he didn't acquire their fame. But in later life, he just has all these amazing observations about people and society that are embedded into his work. Here's one of his paintings. This is from 1915. Oh, I should have told you the Three Little Men started in 1913, and they went on for a couple of decades at least, I think. I don't actually have a clear understanding. They appeared in various publications over the years. So this is a kind of a fascinating book. It takes some time to get through since it's in translation. Like I said, he visited America in 1919. Here's one of his drawings of New York. Isn't that wonderful? I guess that's him taking a picture, or perhaps the friend he traveled with, Valdemar Williamson. He was in New York for about a year, and I can speak more to that. I'll probably write something about that at some point. Here we go. Here's one I translated. Copenhagen Actor Types. This was a poster for a performance that he did to raise money for his American trip. That's his friend, Williamson and Storm Music Company. Ah, here's another painting. This one kind of reminds me of Lautrec. Isn't that wonderful? Once we get past the initial essay, there's a large section of drawings from 1918 to 1949. This one's interesting. I said he was kind of disillusioned with America. I translated this as a greeting I never got to send to the headmaster, which I think means President of the United States. He's leaving Copenhagen and winds up in the United States, and he's looks like he's gained a lot of weight. I don't know. Good day, Jensen. Who do you work for now? The same as before, my wife and 8 children. A gentleman practices playing the trombone. Here we go with the trombone again. He's not bothering anybody. very Goldbergian there. I think Storm P was heavily influenced by Goldberg. Or perhaps vice versa. It's hard to say. I don't know if Goldberg even knew of Storm P. Did they cross paths? I know when Storm P was in New York in 1919, Goldberg was appearing in the New York papers. He was still doing humorous cartoons. Did they perhaps cross paths? Did they have lunch together? It's hard to say. I haven't found any record of it. This is the type of crazy, surreal, you can't quite call it an invention cartoon, but it's definitely got sort of a satire on mechanical objects. And let's see what the caption is. Do you have a driver's license? So this guy right here, the constable, the policeman, is stopping the driver in this crazy, crazy vehicle. Look at his horn. It's a tuba. Yes, I have it in my wallet. Well, if you have it, I don't need to see it. But if you don't, I absolutely must see it. So this is a great example of Storm P's. It's working on two levels. You get this crazy visual, and the caption doesn't make any reference to the fact that it's crazy, but it's got its own sense of humor in here. And isn't that so true? You know, if you don't have it, I absolutely must see it. Here's another invention cartoon. And this is an invention cartoon very much in the Rube Goldberg and Heath Robinson style. So there's basically three creators of the invention cartoon in the early 20th century. There's Goldberg, there's William Heath Robinson, and then the third is Storm Petersen. So it's important that people understand that, I think. And I don't know that it stems from any one creator influencing the other two. To me, this is three brilliant cartoonists kind of all satirizing mechanical culture. But I do think that Storm P was influenced by Goldberg. This is a device for removing troublesome hair growth. Oh, that troublesome hair growth. What do we have on the other page? Holy cow. Yeah, this gets at what I was saying. He likes those loopy shapes. What's the joke? It's been a long time with that horn. He started blowing the overtures of Tannhauser this morning, but not a sound has come out yet. Isn't that great? However, we humans are some strange creatures. We have to hide underground because we invented the airplane.